Welcome to Sadie's Spiel, the podcast that talks about words and other things. So I'm your host Sadie, and today we have our guest Alyssa. Say hello.
Hello.
And we're talking about two different, one is a speech and one is an essay. So the first one is going to be a speech by Hillary Clinton from 1995 called Women's Rights Are Human Rights, and Deborah Tannen's essay, Sex, Lies, and Conversation.
Don't you guys just love all of those pieces? Like, they are my favorite pieces. I'm so honored to talk about them.
Yes, that's exactly why we brought her here today. So, first off, these two pieces, they're very different in what they talk about and the issues they tackle. So, Hillary Clinton, she discusses global issues, and Tannen, she discusses communication struggles between men and women in interpersonal relationships. But at the end of the day, what we're really talking about here is how they both use emotion in their writing to connect with their audience and really have their message heard.
I must say they do it so well. They do it so well and heartfelt.
Yes. So let's break it down. First up, we're going to talk about Hillary Clinton. So I want you guys, the audience, to picture it's 1995 and you're listening to Hillary Clinton's speech. So she's speaking to world leaders at the fourth World Conference on Women. So, she's very on topic. She's trying to get people to care about violence and the injustice for women all around the world, and she's trying to make her message heard. So here's a quote from what she says. "It is a violation of human rights when babies are denied food or their spines are broken simply because they're born girls." Now, the context behind this is she is speaking on some war crimes and stuff that is happening around the world, not located in the USA, but really just violence towards women in general she is speaking on, and she's speaking on how the leaders of the world today need to, step up and kind of step in. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
Okay. So, example of something that Hillary Clinton says throughout her speech, she says, "It is a violation of human rights when babies are denied food or their spines are broken simply because they were born girls." And that's pretty intense, right? So she uses very vivid, emotional imagery and examples to connect with her audience and their empathy, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would also say it just creates a very vivid picture of the whole scene that she's trying to paint in all of the audience's heads. I'm sure all of you are sitting here having a picture of it. Cut.
Totally.
Okay.
So, when she adds stuff like this, it adds a moral sense of responsibility to her audience, because no one with a good moral compass wants to sit idly by and watch stuff like that happen to, especially when she puts it in the way of innocent babies.
Yeah, babies.
Babies. So, okay. So now let's switch it off. Let's zoom in. Let's talk about Deborah Tannen's essay. So this is titled Sex, Lies, and Conversation. And it isn't exactly about, sex or anything. It's not what you would think it is. And it's also in contrast to Clinton's speech. It's not about global problems. It's not about, global women's issues. It's about everyday issues that come up with, interpersonal relationships and communication and misunderstandings and whatnot. For me personally, at least, I can really relate to what Deborah's talking about here and just those kinds of regular experiences, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think anyone can,
Yeah, truly, men and women all around. I think that her essay can relate just a lot to everyone in general. So, for example, her essay kind of tells us a story about a man who calls his wife, a big talker. She's the talker, even though in group conversations, she generally stays pretty quiet, in group situations. And I feel that this is a pretty relatable experience, at least on my part, just kind of witnessing when a man takes over the conversation and, you know, the woman just kind of sits idly by and listens, you know, and that's kind of where she starts with this. This is her first example. So I feel like that's pretty relatable, right? Have you ever been in that kind of situation?
Too many times.
Too many times, right? Okay, so why, we ask, you know, why? And Deborah likes to say that it's because he only notices when she talks at home. So that's a pretty relatable moment right there, right? Because what Tannen is trying to do, she's trying to make you reflect on your own life. And that's where her emotional appeal and pathos is coming from. Because maybe you felt unheard in a relationship or misunderstood by, you know, a partner you've had before. And so that can really hit home for you and evoke some emotional feelings and some empathy in there. And her use of stories and like real life experiences really creates a bond with her readers, gives her some ethos. So, you know, you think, yeah, I've been there totally, right? I've been there. And so really at the end of the day, like, what's the big takeaway here, right? From both of these, what's the big takeaway? We're all wondering, right?
Yeah, what is it, you guys? What is it?
Exactly. Because these pieces they're pretty different, right? Wouldn't you say? Okay.
I would say.
But at the end of the day, I would say that the big takeaway is that both Clinton and Tannen, they have shown us through both of their pieces, whether it's a speech, whether it's an essay, that when you use emotion correctly to connect with your readers and get your message across, it can really enhance your writing, and it truly is, like, it's key to getting your message out there. So, you know, for example, Clinton uses it to inspire action and kind of call to it on a global scale, right?
Yeah.
You know,
like, it's to everyone. It's not just some people, it's everyone.
Exactly. She's speaking to everyone when she gives this speech. And she uses a lot of heavy emotional stuff to reach everyone, and that's for her audience. And Tannen uses it to encourage more reflection and, you know, empathy on a personal level within yourself. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'd say, like, whether you're trying to change the world or just, you know, improve your relationships in general, connecting with the people around you emotionally through a speech, through an essay, through, you know, just talking day to day, that is the bridge to making them listen, especially if it is a pressing issue like gender inequality, you know?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Exactly what I was thinking.
Totally.
Exactly.
So, you know, I think that kind of closes it down for us. I mean, do you have any opinions on?
I think these strong women really use their emotions in a beautiful way to help us understand their point and put their point across.
100%. So, yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening to Sadie's spiel, you know, and thank you so much to our guest, Alyssa, for adding some comedic relief, making everything better. Quick thank you to our wonderful sponsors. Better.
Thank you for having me, you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode today. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.